Good morning, SA wine lovers, and welcome to the Safe SA Wine morning live stream. It's Friday, so happy Friday to everyone. And as you guys can see there, the seal on in Out Bay, I think it's this picture was taken in Out Bay, is happy that it's Friday as well. And yeah, we're also very happy and want to say thank you to our sponsors, the good people from the Fishwives Club, for sponsoring our live stream this morning. And I think they've been doing a great job in sponsoring us, and we appreciate that. And we just want to tell you to please go and visit their online boutique, where you will be able to find great wines and also great merchandise, including t-shirts and all other kinds of goodies. Go have a look at thefishwivesclubboutique.com. That is thefishwivesclubboutique.com. So thank you again to them for sponsoring our morning live stream. Then we want to just remind you guys of the 1660 campaign. It's going strong. We had some news this morning. The 6060 campaign were featured in wine.co.za, and the campaign is going strong. Thank you to Erica Taylor for spearheading this, and thank you for wine.co.za for mentioning the campaign in the press. As you know, we need your help with this, and let me explain what the 1660 campaign is. We will be featuring one South African producer a day for 60 days from the 30th of August until the 28th of October. And here is why we need your help. You know, South Africa's had the nationwide prohibition on alcohol sales, and after that, Vinpro estimated that over 90% of your wineries are in cash flow trouble. They also estimate that the entire wine industry could lose more than 15% of its wineries and 12.6% of its grape growers, which means that more than 18 jobs are on the line over the next year and a half. Wine tourism has also lost 2.5 billion rand in revenue between March and July 2020. So this is horrendous figures for the wine industry. And furthermore, the wine industry is sitting with a 300 million litre surplus of wine. And this, with the harvest coming, this could be a catastrophe. We are grateful that the domestic ban was lifted on the 18th of August, but we had 5 months of extreme damage, and this has put a nail in the coffin of many wine producers. So we really, really desperately need your help. Please follow all the posts we are making. Please share. If you can, buy some of South African wine, and use these hashtags. Hashtag 1660, hashtag Save SA Wine, and hashtag Drink South African. We really appreciate all of you that are taking part in this campaign and supporting us. Also, if you can go to our website, you'll find a producer calendar that will tell you which producer are featured every day. It's savesawine.co.za/60and60. Let me repeat that. That's savesawine.co.za/60and60. And then the last thing we ask is to please go to Instagram and leave a comment on our Instagram page. It's instagram.com/savesawine.co.za. So it's Friday. It's time to say welcome to the weekend. And we really want you to enjoy this weekend. Please go and visit one of your producers. Go to the winelands. Leave your pictures on your group. Please invite more people to the group. We've got close to 56,000 people in the group now. We're pushing to get to 100,000 as quickly as possible. We need to keep the pressure on. And I'll be back. Unfortunately, we're having load shedding this evening, so there won't be a live stream this evening, but we'll be back tomorrow morning with some news of what happened today. um, and my some more of our featured podcasts. Our featured podcast for today is I interviewed Callan Williams. Callan is the founder and the maker at the GARAJEEST. So this is a very interesting concept, and you should listen to Callan. The GARAJEEST are a group of people that originated in Bordeaux, where winemakers started to, in typical French tradition, a protest, and they started the protest against basically the snobbery in the Bordeaux region of um, wines getting favored just because of the region, and not really people not really looking at the quality of the wine anymore. You know, it's almost like a fashion brand. People just follow the brand, and they, at some point they stop following the actual product to see if it's still quality. And that's how the garages started. And the winemakers in Bordeaux started making quality wines in their garages in protest against, you know, uh, uh, basically the producers in Bordeaux riding on their name, and just wanting to make sure that they don't relax their standards. And we have our own garageist in Callan Williams, and I'm going to play the podcast now with Callan. It's very interesting. Please listen to it and enjoy. And have a fantastic Friday, and have a fantastic weekend. Welcome to About the Winelands. In this show, we will be chatting to leaders, influencers, wine producers, restaurants, and other role players. Tune in every week for our latest episode. You will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. Hi everyone, and welcome back to About the Winelands. Today I'm talking to Callan Williams. Callan is the founder of the GARAJEEST winery, and welcome to About the Winelands, Callan.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
No, I'm glad that you are with us and you're spending the time. I know everybody's busy, but Callan, I have to ask you your name of your winery and the origin.
Yes.
This sounds. Tell us. I was wondering about this, and I'm sure our listeners would be interested to hear the story.
So the garagiste, it actually comes from a French term, which is the garagiste movement, which happened in the 1950s. It was a rebellious movement where the winemakers were actually just fed up of their wine being rated via appellation instead of really the quality that was in the bottle. So they banded together and they made wine in their garages. And this wine was picked up. If I remember correctly, I think it was by Robert Parker,
Mhm.
rated highly, sought after, boutique. And since then, the term has just become more widespread. And now, there's garagistes all over. Um, we also like to term ourselves independents, where
Mhm.
we're not actually linked to a wine estate. We operate on our own. So, my whole brand, my business, I am a South African wine producer, but I don't actually own my own wine estate. I rent cellar space and I buy in grapes. So, it's just I think one would say almost a new age way of being a wine producer, although it has been around for years. I think it's just become a lot more popular or more common, although there's very few of us as well. So it's just that's where I got the term and the name, and then I just spelt it phonetically, garagiste, and I trademarked it. So I am known as the garagiste, and the brand is known as the garagiste, and the wines fall under that umbrella.
Well, this is an awesome story. So let's go back to the beginning. Tell us a bit about yourself and yeah, you became involved in the wine industry.
Okay, goodness. So Well, I'm from Zimbabwe originally, so grew up in the bush, and I was always a ballet dancer. So I actually went to Cape Town to audition, for the company, for
Mhm.
Carper in particularly. And I reached a point where I said, it's enough. I've danced my entire life. I was very dedicated. I'd reached certain levels, passed vocational exams, and I just decided that this isn't the route for the rest of my life. And what I really want to do is be a farmer.
Wow.
So, and not actually wine. I wanted to study cattle.
Hmm.
Um, and I went to Elsenburg, which is the agricultural institute attached to Stellenbosch University, whereby I studied agriculture, and then I specialized in the sciences. The wine degree and the viticulture degree. So that's actually how I got into it. I love the outdoors. I love nature. I love soil. I love Indiana Jones. I just think I was very much on that route. So give me a cowboy hat and some fallies, and I was sorted. Best years of my life. Absolutely enjoyed them. So that's actually how I got. The rest is history, if you will. And from there, I was offered a permanent position, which is sometimes quite rare coming out of varsity. I had been working in tasting rooms, and just been gaining experience at some of the wine estates whilst I was studying. So I had got quite a few connections. And coming out, I was offered a position as assistant winemaker at Iona in Elgin, which is where really I learned the ropes. That's where when you get thrown in the deep end, you realize you don't know much, and you just start to learn everything. And I just developed this love for cool climate wines. Some people say there's a house palate, where you just
Hmm.
enjoy the region that you're kind of based in. And I really did. I learned the ropes there. And it didn't take long where it's until I decided that going on my own is the best route in this country and the economy, and with what I wanted to do with my life. So I started up my business at the age of 24, and my first vintage was the 2015 vintage, which was one of the most beautiful vintages we've had since I've been making wine. So I was very fortunate, because I think anyone could make good wine in that vintage. So I was blessed with a good vintage. And yeah, again, I mean, I had to go through lots of red tape, and sure, it's been a journey, and it's been extremely difficult. I lost grapes many times. There were fires in the vineyards, strikes. I had to really wait so long for my liquor license. I really, really have worked hard to get to this point. So, but it's been worth it. The journey's definitely been worth it. And I'm so happy that I'm still able to be producing.
Well, this sounds like a real GARAJEEST and Indiana Jones story intertwined into one.
Well, that's it. Cowboy,
Cowboy,
cowgirl of the
cowgirl.
industry.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask you, I have to ask you, can you use a whip like Indiana Jones?
I mean, I don't give away all my secrets. So, you know, I might do so.
Okay.
Um, Yes, so that's just a summary of the brand. It is inspired by old school rock and roll.
Hmm.
Um, so I have Bruce and Jim, inspired by my favorite musicians. I grew up listening to classical rock, Bruce Springsteen, Jim Morrison, Cat Stevens, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, these are all my favorite artists. And the wine itself is, I've really tried to make premium, beautiful, elegant wines that are versatile, that one's able to drink on their own or age. drink now, or or they have long aging potential. So I worked hard at getting that right. I'm very happy with what I've produced, and yeah, so currently I have the 100% Cab Franc, 100% Semillon. I do a signature series every couple of years where I just make one bottle of something and I keep it a secret.
Wow.
So many friends and people try and twist my arm, feed me a few tequilas to find out what's in the bottle. And I age it for 2 years in barrel. And it's a collection. So a couple of years ago, I brought out a Jagger, and I've released a Cobain, and we'll see if what I'll be releasing next. So this is all under the GARAJEEST umbrella. So yeah, that's again
So,
just a bit more about the wines and the brand.
so your winemaking philosophy seems to be totally intertwined with music and art and creativity and all of these things. That's quite
Absolutely.
interesting. So, yeah,
It's really me I'm really expressive. I think if someone knows me very well, they'll identify me to my brand. I do very much associate, or I'm very linked to the brand. I love art and history and poetry and reading and museums, and music, and the connotation between music and the association, the neurological association one has to linking it to a memory or an emotion. So if you listen to a song, it would most likely bring you back to a memory or a place that where you experience that song. The same as with
mm,
wine. When you smell it, or taste it, it's really by association to what you've experienced in the past. For example, if someone smells your grand's perfume in the glass, it's because you've had that association before. So I love the link between music and yeah, just anything emotional, neurological, and the fact that music brings us together, food, wine, as much as it's a premium a product, I've created a brand that's very rock and roll, very relatable. I've wanted people to talk about wine, enjoy it, and get rid of the connotation of it being so snobby. People deem the term reverse wine snob. I've really created that. I don't like to give people tasting notes. I want people to really enjoy it for what they enjoy it for. So just drink it, enjoy it, have fun. So yeah, that was really the brand I wanted to create, something premium but relaxed, and get people talking. Let's have interesting cultivars that people don't know and they're not scared of pronouncing. Let's just enjoy it more. And I think, in general, the wine industry, both locally and internationally, that's what we need. Is we need people discussing wines. We need people to steer away from a Merlot and a Sauvignon Blanc. As much as we promote those wines, let's explore more. So that's really what I wanted from the wines and the brand, is to have this very relatable product and brand where people enjoy it. It's something edgy, it's different, but it's timeless. So that's what I've created, and I hope people people also see that that's what's being
well,
created.
I just love this because the thing is, if you think about wine in traditional sense, you're thinking about wine pairing with food, you think about smell, but actually the sense of hearing and the sense of music
Yes.
does not really come into it. And I personally think that what one thing in the wider winelands, something that we need much more is live music, a live music scene. Because
Oh,
I
yes,
live
absolutely.
I lived in Chicago, and that's the one thing that I experienced there that is really missing in the whole Western Cape is a that fantastic music scene that they have
Yeah,
in
we
the
need to
Midwest.
rock and roll. I feel like
Absolutely.
putting my dancing shoes on right now, putting out my leather jacket.
So do you play any music yourself?
Um, sure. A few people actually ask me this. I had started playing the cello, It is my favorite instrument, and I'd never learned music prior to that. So I was a year in, but I've since put that on pause. So no, I don't play anything other than that, and I wouldn't say I'm good at it either. But I do enjoy it. And besides rock and roll, I mean, I love rap music, I love classical music, I listen to opera. So music for me is
Music's your life.
what really it is. It really is an inspiration as much as
So,
anything artistic is. And wine, as you were saying, there's a lot of art and passion going into my wines. It's I love science as well, so it's a great combination. That just the balance between science and art, and then your own personal style as well. So it's very expressive. I think it's the most expressive thing I've ever really done is make wine. It's like my painting or my poetry in a bottle.
well, this is awesome. Your typical customer, who does your wine appeal to?
Sure. I have. It's also I don't have one set target market. The wines are premium, so often the trade takes them on at I've listed in Michelin star restaurants, fine dining spots, also very edgy, quirky bars. There's a lot of cocktails that are made with the wines as well, and then the youth of today, I would say. I hope I'm still the youth of today, but they're also enjoying it because of the branding and the labels, and the fact that it's inspired by old school rock and roll. I mean, I've got my dad's generation drinking it, so it appeals to quite a vast customer. I was going to say audience, but
Mm.
I'm quite fortunate that it is different. It's not the typical coat of arms branding, wine estate look, but it's appealing to people, and I'm very grateful for that. So I think people just enjoy it. If it's not the actual wine in the bottle, it's first off the label. People speak to me directly, so I'm the one behind the emails, I'm the one sending the invoices, doing the events, posting on social media. So when people I've got a great relationship with my customers. When
Mm.
people buy a bottle or a case, they often WhatsApp me and send me photos, or tell me how much they're enjoying it. So we develop more of an intimate relationship, which most estates, it's rare to know who is behind the wine making, or who the owner is, whereas I'm all of it. So I think that's also very appealing to customers, is that they get a more personalized experience. Sorry. Yeah. So it's yeah, I'm very
Uh,
grateful.
well, it's amazing. I can almost feel your passion for what you're doing, which is absolutely wonderful that you can actually love something and do it, and also find it
Yes,
so creative, because I think
absolutely.
that is unique. Um, where are your wines sold? You were talking about wine shops and some
Yes.
restaurants. Are you exporting your wines? Is it mostly in
I
South Africa?
do. I
Mhm.
export overseas, and locally. I mean, they really are everywhere boutique. So they're in the likes of like a Norman Goodfellas,
Mhm.
Caroline's, Wine Concepts. A lot of smaller wine boutique bottle stores. Not well. We'll see. We'll see where how far wide I can spread in the next couple of weeks. But that's the general feel for them. And online. So, and I'm running a discount as well. So they're online, and I deliver. It's free delivery around South Africa, and then internationally. So I do have
So,
an amazing following overseas, and it's great because sometimes I get a photo tagged, and my wine is with someone in Russia. They've got their hands on it, and so I do export as well, and it's great. It's I've always said, everywhere I send my wines is where I'd like to travel one day. So, I've still got a long list of where I want the wines to be shelved. But yeah, so I export and they're based locally as well.
Well, that's amazing. Well, here's your chance now. You were saying about the discount that you're offering. So tell us about it.
Yes.
What can people get? You've got an audience here.
Yes, well, I'm offering a 20% discount. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people have put up their prices, especially due to lockdown, etc. I've actually discounted because I know times are tough and, we've all got to help each other. So please, like, send your orders through. I'm actually I've got an order form, but I've actually been finalizing a proper shop setup on my site, which is very exciting. And I'm running a 20% discount on the wines. And yes, I mean, I'd appreciate the support to just keep me in business and keep me making wines. That's really what it's all about.
I think people will definitely support you. So that's for sure. Um, can you tell us? I mean, your wines have. I mean, there's a whole list of awards listed on your website. So tell us
Yes.
about all the fantastic things you've achieved. Now it's
Um,
your time to brag now.
so yes, the awards are, I mean, it's amazing.
Hmm.
I honestly was starting out, I didn't think I knew what I was doing at all, but clearly I do know a little bit because I have won awards for the brand itself, and as well as the wines, which is I mean, it's amazing. So I'm very grateful. I don't always enter to everything. It is sometimes quite costly, the price to
Mm-hmm.
enter, and then you've also got to, if you get a gold or a silver, etc., you have to give away some of your product, which is amazing because it's great marketing as well. The one year I entered so many competitions that I was in between Joburg and Cape Town, I was doing about 9 events in one week. So
Wow.
my smile started to fade, and I think I was pushing some customers away because I was so tired. So I have been a little bit more selective with what I've been entering, and it's great for international exposure as well, and also to just give the customer some reassurance as to your reputation as a winemaker and the wines themselves. So yeah, I'm very grateful that the wines have been received so well by such prestige competitions and international reviewers, etc. And also been in a lot of newspaper articles, and just it's been amazing exposure really since I launched and since I started the brand. So it's great. I've no complaints. So yes, I do have a lot of awards on there. I think we'll be sharing the latest Tim Atkin Awards, which is in
Hmm.
September. We can reveal those, which I'm excited to let everyone know. And Platters is still coming out, and I've also entered Decanter this year as well. So yeah, a lot's still to be released this coming year. Sorry, not this coming year. Over the next couple of months.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's a bit about the awards.
Amazing. Tell us about Callan and Crimson.
So Callan and Crimson is a side venture I do where I just offer service for wine clubs, launches, weddings, lectures, just to share my expertise that I have, to present a tasting, to chat about any wine topic. So often I get asked to be a part of a wine dinner, a wine club, or a launch, and they'd like me to discuss something, or they'd like me to pour my wines and chat about the Elgin Valley and the difference between Cab Franc here, New World versus Old World. So is our connection still on?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, okay, super. So, yeah, so Callan and Crimson is the side venture I do where, people can get in touch with me, and that's the service that I provide in my personal capacity, not necessarily linked to the Garagiste.
Hmm.
And it's actually also been received really well. So I've been invited for to a lot of different events. So yeah, that's the side business. I've also I'm about to launch an entry level brand. It's called Chinchi. It's spelled Cinci. It means a little bit of. It's an African rooted word. So, I've just played on a little bit of fun, a little bit of adventure, a little bit of life. And I'm very excited to launch. It's been put on pause due to lockdown and then the ban and then the next ban. But we will be launching soon. So that's up and running. The site is up, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So yeah, I'm excited to get those wines out there, and that's just a very playful, fun brand, not premium, but your everyday quaffable, affordable wine, fun and light. So yeah, I'm excited to be launching that soon as well.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Chinchi, you said.
Chinchi, it's
Chinchi.
so cute. I
That's
absolutely.
very cute. It
I
almost
mean,
sounds like you can do a taste on a chinchi.
yes, and it sounds like you're cheersing, ching ching.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the fact that it means a little bit of, I think it's just yeah, great marketing as well. So a lot of write-ups on that. If anyone's interested to have a look see around that coming up brand.
Oh, that's awesome. So you were talking about the lockdown and the lockdown and the lockdown and the coronavirus. So this has forced all of us to rethink our business models. So do you have any changes or new ideas in mind after this?
Well, everything is more online, and I think that's the route of where most businesses have been pushed towards. I've always been very active on my social media platforms with my marketing, etc. So online for me hasn't been much of a change, but I've had a lot of online tastings happening where I'm connecting to the Netherlands, for example. Things like this, Zoom chats, and pushing the brand on an online platform more than actual events. And we often would do trade tastings, trade events where you would showcase your wines. A lot of it has now become more online, which is nothing wrong with that. I think it's quite exciting. And in terms of sales, etc., I do think a lot of the wine estates are going to have to push their marketing more across social media, which not all of them normally had to do. So yeah, in terms of me changing up my business, I've always had that strategy at hand. So I've just really enhanced it.
Okay, that's all. That's awesome. So social media and you, like you say, you can hear it immediately. You're a very engaging person. So I think the biggest challenge in the whole online system and the direct to consumer system is more, if you're engaging, you're going to make sales. But what about the part? How are you finding logistics in South Africa to actually get the wine to your customer as quickly as possible? Because I think that is the biggest challenge for people that are looking to go into the direct to consumer business.
So, generally, our services are absolutely on point. Our careers are amazing. The wine gets to the customer within 3 days, often the very next day after being ordered. What we're doing now is due to this ban and the backlog, we're experiencing difficulties, which last time it took about a month to ease out. Perhaps this time it won't take too long. But the logistics of the couriers can't handle the amount of orders coming in, or waybills that come in.
Mm.
They're not used to that capacity. Some of them have had to outsource external warehousing. So as a customer, one has to be really aware and quite patient, which is so frustrating because, as the ban, was put in place and now they've ordered their wine, they're still waiting for it. Generally, that is not the case. It's really just these circumstances we find ourselves in. So once the backlog has panned out and the couriers are back operating, we really have an amazing services, amazing couriers. The guys are exceptional here, and I've never had a complaint. The wines have always been delivered very quickly, so it's a great way of just ordering online. Your wine arrives, it's safe. You don't have to go to the trouble of trying to find it. Not, some bottle stores sometimes run out of stock, or whatever the case is. So I think I think we're 100% on point. It's just due to this backlog at the moment that things are a little bit slower.
Awesome. So, your wine journey seems, very interesting. So, what is the most important thing that you've learned so far?
Um, well, the most important thing I've learned is really how fortunate I am to be, working and running a business, which is my passion. And I wake up every day and I'm really so, so blessed. I think that's something that I've learned and I value highly. And to just be present and embrace everything that comes my way. There's a lot of struggle and difficulties. So just by embracing it and that that's working with what you have, especially in terms